of firepower the team has, the amount of respect the team is getting, and the amount of recognition they're also receiving. Something obviously to note that getting picked up by a sponsor is definitely a big upgrade and a huge morale boost in the end for that roster who used to be called Dopamine but now are O2 Blast. So if you recognize the team Dopamine, you'll soon recognize O2 Blast. But for now, we have to set our sights into the picks, bans, and the locks of Reject versus AssembleFire, the final best of 3 of this entire Stage 1 tournament.
And the picks and bans go the way, you know? Just adding more stats to the bans for Emma Frost. Loki immediately traded out. I mean, nothing too surprising there. I'm actually going to do a huge shout out to Ryan Central, which is one of the casters in EMEA. They actually posted a bit of a data dump on their Twitter account or X account that kind of showcased all the picks and bans across the Marvel Rival Ignite series, across all 4 +5 now China regions. So you do want to check that out. But interestingly, the Captain America ban coming out from Reject seems targeted.
Yeah, no, Reject looks like they want to lock it away. They're going to keep it for themselves. Will we see Reject opt for a dive composition? That might be what they want to go for. Finale is hovering the Black Panther. We've been seeing a lot more Black Panther in recent days. But then again, Finale could still do really well on the Human Torch. But then again, AssembleFire did ban it away. So there is a chance that Finale does not opt to go for that option.
Oh, and the Punisher ban. That might be huge, but nope. We go for the tried and true Luna Snow ban just to be able to take that out with the Loki ban in effect as well. AssembleFire aren't going to have as much success. Even the Mantis. That's a lot of very powerful strategists out, but you know, it does leave 0-1 with the option for the Iron Fist, which I see them hovering. So it would be interesting to see how they want to play this. Feels like with the lock-in that Reject has on Captain America, they're going back to what they had tried during week 2 of the group stage, where they really let Gnome and Gargoyle take to that back line. And even Magic coming out. That's a pick that we... Okay, you know, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much.
I don't think that's gonna... I don't think it's gonna pull through. I don't think it's gonna make the final cut. But that would be interesting, to say the least. But here we go. We're finally on the Kingdom of Wakanda as we head into the final domination map of the night.
Oh yes, indeed. Right,
yeah.
One
I wonder
point
what
to
map
contest it all.
I wonder what map we're gonna get first. If it's the waterfall map, that might be a very interesting one. But nope, it's gonna be the airfield. It's gonna be that landing area. And for now, so far, nothing too crazy coming out of any of these teams, apart from AssembleFire with the Iron Fist.
Yeah, and also triple duelist to boot, right? They're feeling very confident, and confidence doesn't do enough with Kingdom God being immediately taken out. Gargoyle's trying to fire things back. Oh, and Finale with one of their own. Reject are storming the site with confidence and chasing these individual players out of position, out of pocket. One by one they fall! And 0-1 doesn't even get the chance for a dignified retreat.
The experienced and the up-and-comer joining together and just destroying AssembleFire's hopes off the rip. And they will take easy control of the site, and it's only a matter of time of how can AssembleFire get back into this site, into this match. But it's still early, so there is still time, but 0-1 trying to punch his way to victory, but Finale is there to clean up, and so does Dobie with a double. As Piggy able to clean up with another. AssembleFire need to run for the hills yet again.
See, that's 0-1 is the one that needs to make space for them, right? They only have a single Vanguard, the Magneto, slow moving, can't really create space. The only one that can is going to be 0-1, so all eyes on you. and you know you still need to build your ultimate as well. So it's gonna be a bit of a battle here, pushing that backside just a little bit more, forcing it off, and as well as forcing the invisible boundary. So that's huge. But Finale fires back.
Yep, Finale finds one onto the Cloak and Dagger. Here comes the Meteor. It has to land perfectly. If he wants to get any sort of value, it will onto one of the strategists, as the Dance of the Butterfly is just going to zone every one of AssembleFire away. 2 members down. Make it 3. Might be a 4 if 0-1 staggers himself out. Yes, he will. And Reject commanding that they win this round number 1. Gargoyle slowly making his way back. He's not even phased. Look at him on the camera. He's just having a good time. He's just not in any sort of pressure. They know what they need to do. They know what needs to be done. They know the job they have to do if they want to secure a round number 1. Here comes the Omega Hurricane, though. But it's going to be all for naught. It's only going to find 1. And Reject respond with 5.
Honestly, the face cams were the best. Look at how happy Gargoyle looks, and I think I saw a grin at that tail end right now. RC look well in control of the rate and pace. They came out just absolutely swinging and swinging. They did, and I felt like AssembleFire couldn't really find much of a hold right there. Their triple duelist is quite an interesting choice, considering that they leave but a single player to really try and make space. But okay, now a bit of change in what they want to work on. Captain America introduced by Slowest Soldier, hopefully not their namesake. Could be the fastest soldier to boot. Give Captain America a little credit here, folks.
Oh yeah. But 0-1 is the player that's closest to their ultimate. Living Chi only 2% away.
Yeah, this could be it, as a Reject feel still very comfortable with their composition at the moment. Finale doing absolute work as the Psylocke, but also want to shout out to Gnome, who has been, you know, we talked about it during the pre-show, that dive element for the team, so is able to really peel for their team members, plus create enough chaos on the AssembleFire side.
Ooh, look at him go.
In order to make it work.
Yeah, he jumps in, does a bit of damage, and just jumps away to safety as the Living Chi waiting to be used. But Finale also going to use the Dance of the Butterfly with Gnome soaking in so much distraction, so much of the damage, and so much of the attention of AssembleFire, and they are just going to get absolutely blown out of the water as Reject take another commanding early lead.
Today is a Gnome and Finale show at the moment, right? That Captain America just absorbing so much space. I'm really looking at, you know, Slowest Soldier to make an entrance for themselves. 0-1 up top. Not really with the rest of the team just yet. Captain America's gonna have to back off right at the last possible second, but it's gonna Finale! Just absolutely slicing and dicing on to command the Kingdom God. It's gonna be the Meteor M coming out. Will they be able to find value within this invisible boundary? I don't think just yet, as Dobie will open with the Fate of Both Worlds, as well as the Freedom Charge coming in from Gnome to be able to make some noise here on the site against AssembleFire.
There's just so much that AssembleFire need to hold off if they want to keep themselves alive in this game number 1, as the Freedom Charge is going to be popped, but Finale is able to find one. Gnome will follow up with a second. Finale and Gnome, they're the two players that are just absolutely destroying AssembleFire right now. Dobie on the back is just cleaning up house when needed. And Reject, oh my goodness.
I feel like the Vanguards at the tail end right there should not have staggered. You know, you just stand there and let the other team send you back to spawn, because these are precious seconds. We're already at 75%. It's gonna be starting off with the Storm Omega Hurricane. This leaves Reject scrambling for answers just a little bit. And hopefully we'll be able to contest that a little,
my.
and that's Finale with a second shot onto Kingdom God. A trade comes up from 0-1 to make it the bit more viable. Down to the plus will find
my
so
God,
much value on this
Finale.
back line. And Kraken Impact has 0 impact whatsoever. It's Finale all day, every day here. Piggy does their work, plus Gargle, a clean sweep to say the least.
Oh my goodness. And that's game 1. Over to Reject. Quick and easy as you like it. I think it was a full shutout too. It's just an absolute insane showing by Finale. Gargoyle doing the same as well in the back line. But at times he just wasn't needed. It was all Finale and Finale only. And that's going to be it for game 1.
Yeah.
Quick as you like it.
Finale, the latest pickup for Reject, you know, has 0 competitive experience up to this point, and it really has been proving themselves to be such a valued player. Heavy impacts, 15 final hits with 25 KOs to boot, but a couple of knockouts of their own. So absolutely demolishing performance for the side of Finale, but it's honestly the rest of the team as well supporting them with some great assists coming out from the strategists. I look on the other side of AssembleFire. They really tried. I felt like they put too many eggs in a single basket, letting 0-1 tank.
Because he has been the hard carry, the heart and soul of Reject throughout this entire tournament.
Yep, and I like what Pegasus is saying, right? Pegasus, Dragon, Tiger. Can you pick an animal, perhaps? But okay, you like all 3, that's fine. Pegasus, Dragon, Tiger. I like what they said, right? Like, if it's not working at the start, you gotta change. And honestly, if you look at hero shooters, not just Marvel Rivals, but ones in the past as well, the best teams, the best players are the ones that are able to bring a multitude of different types of gameplays and styles and agents and heroes to their team, to their repertoire, and we've seen that in Genji, we've seen that in Crazy Raccoons as well as O2 Blast, and you know, if you do want to be one of the best, you have to change out. So here's to hoping that we see a different look on the AssembleFire folks, and we figure out how to get out of this. And okay, quick change from that perspective. AF are going to ban out the Psylocke.
Yeah, Finale has been doing really, really well on that in game number 1, and it's no surprise that AssembleFire wants to get rid of it ASAP, and they will do so. And now the question really becomes, what does Finale adjust to? We've seen him play the Human Torch and he's been doing just as well on that Human Torch. So it's going to be a question of, what does AssembleFire opt to go for? They opt to ban out Punisher. Ultron might have been a better option to ban out. That's just a personal thing. If you ban out the Ultron, you kind of reduce the amount of potential this Human Torch could provide with the amount of utility that the Ultron provides. But in the end, it is AssembleFire's draft. This is what they settled with, and they will lock the Luna for themselves.
No, so the ban of the Punisher might indicate that AssembleFire are trying to assemble flyers here. And I like what Reject are doing. They're trying to think a little deeper into it. I thought they were going to ban out, you know, another flyer to perhaps limit some options for AF. But they're going ahead to ban out a Punisher as well. So both might take to the skies. It might be a dogfight in the air like we've seen in maps past.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to judge anything I'm seeing so far, because these players like to troll casters. We say one thing, chat gets excited, okay?
Yeah, I've completely forgot Finale also is able to play on the Iron Man. I'm not sure if that'll be the final call coming in. Finale has been really well on these flying champions with the Iron Man, with the Human Torch. Not sure if he's had some experience on the Storm, at least in the professional stage. I've yet to confirm nor deny that. But for now, his Iron Man, his Human Torch, his Psylocke have all been so good. And there's a reason why Reject are one of the top seeds coming into this map. Coming into the series even.
I'm really terrified of Finale's Iron Man. I mean, if we are surprised and shocked at what Alone Fills did on their Iron Man, Finale was the first to do it, and the sneaky beaky is that this particular Tony Stark can get around is redonkulous. So I'm so excited to see what they can bring here, as they're really gonna have to assemble Fire AF to bring the heat. We start off just around this corner, a bit of poke and prod, but they're bringing flowers as well. Kingdom God onto that. Cloak and Dagger just able to have that backline support, but 0-1 back on the Iron Fist to say the least.
Yep, so far so good for AssembleFire as they slowly move forward. No one going down just yet, but keep in mind, if anyone on Reject goes down, it's more punishing as a defender, as you're forced to walk all the way back into the fight, whereas on AssembleFire, your spawn's literally right there. You just have to literally cross the street and you're already in the fight. But Finale, we've talked about him so much throughout this entire tournament, throughout this entire series in general, and he will open things up with a pick of his own, as the rest of Reject want to push forward. Dobie will clean up a second, and Gargoyle will clean up house as well.
Yeah, 0-1 actually tried to take to the skies to give Finale a fight for their own, but it was Dobie, once again, that peel coming in for those duelists. So clutch at the moment. And it's gonna be a tough nut to crack, as these ultimates are really starting to crack on Finale with a bit of that uni beam just to be able to hammer things down. But Gargoyle already has the Rage of Ultron. Will finalize Chabakyu, unfortunately, with Gnome flying in to work magic onto the AssembleFire gang.
Oh my gosh, here we go. The meteor charged up and used. Piggy is able to find one onto Xenos. Kingdom God is able to trade away, but Finale is there to be quick with another trade of his own as the Unibeam lasers and shreds down Slowest Soldier to pieces. And the rest of AssembleFire have to regroup yet again.
Regroup indeed, and look at the initiative that's coming out, right? Gnome, as well as the Magneto, Piggy just being an absolute nuisance in that front line. It's gonna start off with the Living Chi as well, trying to gain some space, as well as the Freedom Charge coming out. 0-1 taking to the skies, wanted to shut down this Ultron, but the sustain is not enough. Slow Soldier fires back as well. Great sleep, just to be able to hold things back, but it's too much to bear.
It's enough.
And so Rejects is gonna be able to back off all the way. Are they gonna have enough to be able to contest the site? If Gnome going down, that might be a tall order.
That definitely will be, but teleport is available, but it doesn't. It might seem like Reject want to contest this, but nope. They're just gonna concede. They're gonna run for the hills. They're just gonna regroup. As we see AssembleFire take the first point as 0-1. He's having a better showing on this Iron Fist this time around, especially since this is Yggdrasil. This is one of those maps where there's a lot more opportunities to jump, a lot more opportunities to go ham, and just like that, he has he's showing why AssembleFire really rely on this Iron Fist. But for now, Finale, he does have the Pulse Cannon available. Here comes the Rage of Ultron, as the Eternal Bond will be that response. And Gargoyle will prioritize towards more onto the healing of his teammates rather than dealing the damage, dealing the hurt. But 0-1 is being an absolute frontline menace. Here comes the Pulse Cannon, but it's going to get absorbed by the Meteor M of Mafia. And here we go. Great shield coming in. Great screen from Mafia to deny a multi-man stun from the Eye of Agamotto. And AssembleFire, they are playing this fight really, really well. But then again, you got Finale to deal with. And AssembleFire really don't know how to deal with that.
Not just yet. They're really sussing out all these corners and cleaning shop here. Just more ultimate gains for the side of Reject as they force AssembleFire all the way back into spawn with these long sight lines. It's not to say that AssembleFire aren't bringing the heat. They're starting to really figure out how to get their pacing. 0-1 finding value in the backline, even in the sky. This person can fly, and that's Chabakyu out of action. A quick strategist out of boot. This is lending Fire on the side of Mocha as well as Finale, just hunting down bodies, trying to figure if they can stagger more. And oh, Kingdom God almost as well got their wings clipped, but managed to dive away to safety.
Yep. For now, it does seem like Reject looking to be in a commanding position right now as 0-1 is going to kick things off. Wait a minute, they don't know where this pulse cannon is. It's only going to find one, but it's still a very important pick. That's Chaba. That's Chaba going to go down. No Fate of Both Worlds for the time being. The stun only lands onto Kingdom God, and Kingdom God will go down.
It's the Fate of Both Worlds as well as the Eye of Agamotto coming out. Huge stun onto Gargle. Does not gets away with it, none the least to say. It's gonna be 0-1, trying to work their way around this, as well as the Freedom Charge to be able to disrupt this back line. Rejects really trying to hold back the fort, but AssembleFire just pushing through with some brilliant picks of their own. 0-1 finds Piggy. That's a Vanguard out of action.
Oh my goodness, Reject need to find a way in, need to find a way. But it's going to be really, really difficult with that choke point in the way. What did Reject opt for? There is no adjustment. There is no change just yet on the side of Reject. They will rock the same exact composition they've been doing ever since. There's the Meteor M, but Finale doesn't have his pulse cannon just yet. And he might find the timing to use it now. He will. And it will just nuke everyone on the site. There is a Eye of Agamotto being used by Piggy as the time does expire. Just barely. Reject are able to hold off the offensive of AssembleFire, and AssembleFire will have to settle with one.
Yeah, second checkpoint denied from that perspective. You know, in terms of Steam-wise, I'm just thinking overall momentum was a continued effort for the side of AssembleFire. They were slow and steady and ultimately fizzled out at that tail end with just so much value coming in from Finale, being that, you know, that flyer in the sky, as well as Mocha getting those early picks. Gnome, the back line, Frontier. You know, if you have Captain America on your side, the Avengers Assembler themselves, right? You have a strong chance ahead of you, says the RC fans. Now, AssembleFire have a chance here for a crazy stronghold. They have indeed. They're rocking a very similar composition to what they've had. I want to say point 2 of map 1, where they move Kingdom God, Slowest Soldier onto a Vanguard. So a couple of shields coming through from their Vanguard repertoire. But we'll see if it's enough, because it'll really be Kingdom God and 0-1 being tested to make some space for the AF team.
Yep, tested indeed, as Reject now is their turn on the offensive. Piggy going to lead the charge. As we head into the first chicane, Reject, they just need to rely on their carries. They need to rely on Finale. They need to rely on Gargoyle to deal the hurt, deal the damage, but all eyes are on Finale. Can he find the opportunities? Can he find the timings to get a good ultimate off? As there's so much counterplay on the side of AssembleFire. You've got the Meteor M, you've got the Strange Shield, you got a Mafia screen as well. So there's just way too much Sting to work with, and somehow off the rip, Finale gets a double. And Piggy follows up with another as well, as there's an Iron Fist trying to punch his way to victory. But there is no victory here. Reject should be able to get this first point.
It started off with Gnome taking that back line, drawing so much attention away, right? 0-1 immediately with the peel. And that just meant there's not enough action in the front line. Great portals to deny any sort of resurgence or reappearance from the AAF team. And now Rejects continue their adventure, their push along phase 2 is, yeah, just have to hit 100 meters is all they need to be able to secure themselves those upper brackets.
Yep, 100 meters is the magic number here, but the Eternal Bond is going to buy a bit of time. But there's the Maximum Pulse, not quite landing the mark, as Xenos was still dashing around in the Eternal Bond, as the trade of Dobby's Mantis ultimate going to be used as well. 0-1 still causing chaos, still causing havoc in the back line of Reject. Has the Living Chi available very, very soon, but it's going to be a matter of time of when they'll use it. Reject are going to be sent back to spawn for just a few more seconds.
Very interesting ult from Piggy, right? Like the Eye of Agamotto came out at the last possible second. I didn't really think there was anyone else with them, so I'm not sure if that was a misclick. Bit of a error, unfortunately, from that perspective. Regardless, so they'll be walking into this one with one ultimate short, and that could have helped a lot more as Mafia is gonna be taking names. So is Kingdom God. AssembleFire look like they are really coming back. They're showing themselves true form with 0-1, taking the fight all the way to spawn. That is what AssembleFire are bringing to the table right now.
This is what they need right now. This is going to be a huge morale boost on the side of AssembleFire. If they can do what they're doing right now and it keeps working out in their favor, they are on a great chance to take us to a game number 3. But Reject, they know what they need to do. They know what must be done. And here we go. Eternal Bond going to be used. Finale has the pulse cannon to use, but here comes the stun onto Mocha. That's going to be Mocha going down. Dobby forced to use his strategist ultimate, the Soul Resurgence. But now here we go. The Freedom Dive going to be used as well. But will that be enough for Finale to find an opening here as the maximum pulse voice line is going to be sounded, but Piggy is able to find a pick onto Kingdom God as AssembleFire look to hold for just a little longer.
A little longer indeed. Fate of Both Worlds popped on the other side of AssembleFire just to keep everyone alive, and Finale is doing work on this front line. That feed lights up blue, and Reject finally are able to fire back with 2.5 minutes plus to be able to cover that 100-meter mark.
And that's what we wanted to see here out of Reject. They are able to move that point finally, but now
very
they need
labored,
to scramble. Yeah, very, very labored, but they need to scramble to take control. Finale is just blasting away at that choke point. It is the fastest access onto the point, but here comes the Living Chi out of 0-1, but can he find any sort of value, or is he just gonna find space as Finale is able to do his best to track him down? But Finale, he's got the charge, he's got the pulse, that should almost land onto one, but it doesn't quite take out anyone. Here comes the Fate of Both Worlds. It's going to keep everyone on Reject alive as Finale gets taken down dangerously low. Kingdom God, the only person getting stunned by that Eye of Agamotto. Slow Soldier in the back line, causing so much chaos right now as Reject might look to reset for the time being, but we're not entirely sure because Gnome's Freedom Charge is going to run out. Gargoyle and Dobby, both the strategists of Reject, still have their ultimates available, but AssembleFire, they're not giving any sort of room, but they will give space now.
They will indeed, right? It's great trades from both teams, to be honest, and really kudos to the side of Rejects for that focus fire effort onto the Living Chi. They have to be worried about some of the ultimates coming out from Reject at the moment. Finale back on the Pulse Cannon, to say the least. Slow Soldier doing their utmost best just to be able to hold things back, but it's going to be the Rage of Ultron to start things off. The Whips of the Strange come out. Mystic Arcanes, the dive onto the back line. Huge Eye of Agamotto, but can't find any value as Gargoyle will be able to sweep up everybody. Dobby, Gargoyle will be able to claim the rest of these lives. Reject finally chugging along once more, and hopefully 0-1 will be able to put out a sneaky portal to be able to deny any sort of additional movement and stagger AssembleFire from pushing out from this choke point.
Yeah, using the portals to close off any entryways onto the site. Slow Soldier is going to have to spend a few extra seconds trying to get himself onto the site. 20 seconds left on the clock. Eye of Agamotto going to be used, but Finale somehow goes down. Finale is out of the fight for the time being, but here comes the rest of AssembleFire trying to keep Reject from the second point. And it looks like they're doing a really good job as Gnome.
3 seconds.
He needs to go in now. And the time is going to run short. And a
Amazing.
shocking move. AssembleFire. They clap back.
They do indeed,
just
and it's
like that.
And it's
Game
not to say
three.
that. And it's not to say that AssembleFire didn't try and bring the heat. Sorry, Reject didn't try and bring the heat. They pulled out everything and the kitchen sink with like funky portals and sneaky Iron Man ults. But ultimately, AssembleFire, I gotta hand it to their ultimate pacing. It was very well done, and they were able to really stagger out their ultimates, counter when needed, to be able to hold back the advancements from Reject.
Oh my goodness, AssembleFire, they are looking good right now. They got absolutely stomped in game number 1. I thought they were done for, but... Oh my goodness, AssembleFire. They are amazing.
Matters into their own hands as an Iron Fist, Iron v Iron, and somehow Iron Fist is kind of winning out those fights.
Yeah, and I want to highlight Finale again in that map number 2. It just didn't seem like he was able to find value out of the pulse cannon. Usually we see some sort of multi knockout, maybe even a important pick onto a single character, but none of that really happened. Really, on the side of Finale, most of these pulse cannons were either countered by something like a strange shield, something like a mag shield, maybe even the mag screen, maybe even the meteor itself. And just that sheer amount of counterplay that was available on the side of AssembleFire just neutralized Finale's Iron Man, and he was just not able to find any sort of value whatsoever. But so far as we do progress, oh no, did AssembleFire make a mistake here? Did they make a mistake here?
I mean,
Uh-oh.
it was that or the Mantis, and so they chose to lock in the Mantis, and that allowed Reject to pick up the Psylocke for themselves. Luna's out of the question. Mocha had been deadly on that, so perhaps that might go in their favor. And the respect. Okay, the respect. This is good. This honestly means that Reject are respecting their opponents enough to strip away Iron Fist from 0-1.
Finale immediately will go on to that Psylocke. But there are other options. Human Torch is available. Ultron is also available as well. We'll see what Reject decide to opt for. Because I do have the option of flying around. Finale could play the torch, and then one of the strategists could be that Ultron as well, but we're gonna have to see. But it does seem like Reject want to get value out of this Psylocke save, I guess. Probably the easier way to say it. The Psylocke lock.
Psylocke lock. And then the Iron Fist ban. I mean, I respect Reject for being, humble enough to understand that, your opponent is fighting back. You really need to think about how to adapt your hero picks and bans against them. So they did exactly that. And now, I'm getting nervous, Dan. I'm thinking, okay, AssembleFire, do they have what it takes to fire back? Finale not on that Psylocke just yet, hopping onto the Punisher. And perhaps starting off with some portal play from Gnome to be able to get advantage onto AssembleFire. No,
we'll see how it turns out right now. Everyone on Reject just keeping control of one of those high ground positions. A very good choice by Reject overall. You don't get really threatened by that choke point where someone could appear on the left side. Whereas AssembleFire, they take the next available spot. They will take the second high ground area on this map. But for now, AssembleFire, yet again, they're on the offensive for the first time around, but it looks like Finale able to open things up yet again as Gargoyle able to clean up house. Everyone on Reject cleans up house.
The moment they dropped onto the site and forgo that high ground, the strategists remain up top, but AssembleFire didn't have enough oomph to sustain it, especially because Finale was doing absolute wonders, and mind you, already has their final judgment, which is so fast, right? So insanely fast for a duelist, mind you, with the turret as well. So the repositioning from AssembleFire to take this corner. This is a bit of a risky play. They're gonna hopefully explode on. Great wall coming from Groot to be able to deny and allow the rest of AssembleFire on this side. It's gonna be Final Judgment holding the fort with a barrage of bullets, to say the least. But it's fate of both worlds and a wall to be able to maybe deny this finale.
Oh my gosh, wait, but the shotgun lands onto one of the members of AssembleFire as the Omega Hurricane is going to clean up house. Perfectly timed, perfectly executed, and perfectly defended. As Gargoyle cleans up house, he is showing up right now.
Ooh. I mean, honestly, from the side of AssembleFire, they went onto the site fairly well. I like 0-1's pick onto Groot to just be able to maybe put down those ironwood walls and deny some sight lines, but Reject just had a few more ultimates that they could work with. The good news is that, you know, they're out of ultimates. So AssembleFire, hopefully with 3 of their own, will be able to bring the heat. I'm looking at Strangling Prison plus the Omega Hurricane. That could be a banger to see.
That could be a banger indeed. It's just a matter of execution right now. No one on Reject really close to their ultimates just yet. Here we go. But it looks like Shaba wanted to go for a backline ultimate, but is just going to settle with a frontline instead. But isn't quite able to find the mark. Isn't quite able to find the eliminations that Kingdom God expected. And now the rest of Reject need to find a way to retake. Here we go. Great denial by Mafia. Denies the Final Judgment. And the Eternal Bond will clean up everyone of Reject as AssembleFire. They're going to get a point.
I was shooketh that a finale was able to get a second Final Judgment online. But that was a great identification of the win condition from Mafia, right? Wait for your Meteor M to come out and really target these picks against the playmakers, but now they're in for a huge fight. Reject have a lot of ultimates to really start the ball rolling. Therefore, AssembleFire want to bring the heat pushed up all the way through the second phase, and we're gonna start with Dobby landing the Eternal Bond onto the backline, being an absolute nuisance.
Yep, and everyone else on Reject just kiting away. Need to run for the hills for the time being. They're going to seek refuge inside the invisible boundary, but Finale is going to get picked off. But here comes Gargoyle with 1, with 2, making a third as Gnome is there. Piggy as well, and AssembleFire get wiped out yet again.
Not too surprising there from that perspective. I mean, they had the ultimate advantage from that perspective, and now Slate's wiped clean just a little bit, and it would be AssembleFire's time to kind of react to that. 0-1 again, getting instantly chipped up by Gnome.
Oh my.
That's not what you want. Oh, 1 of 2 Vanguards immediately out of action. And this leaves AssembleFire scratching for answers. That wall is so needed to get forward space.
Yeah, and Reject now forcing themselves to play forward. They don't want AssembleFire any room to work with, but 0-1 still holding onto the Strangling Prison as the rest of AssembleFire are getting their ultimates online and ready to go. All eyes are on Xenos. When do you pop that Eternal Bond? When do you go crazy? When do you go as the Strangling Prison goes wide? It doesn't connect onto anyone on Reject. And that's one less threatening ultimate that Reject have to worry about as AssembleFire finding more alternatives, finding more ways, but that Meteor doesn't land the mark, and that allows Finale to go absolutely crazy, absolutely ballistic, might even go nuclear, as he's not able to find more, but will settle with the double.
The last minute left on the clock for AssembleFire to regain some sort of momentum and push ourselves into the second checkpoint. The reassembly, the repositioning from Finale is dubious to say the least, especially with all these shields coming in so clutch to be able to at least whittle down the side of AssembleFire. Kingdom God will have to do everything and the kitchen sink to be able to take the fight, but once again, you know, Reject have so many ultimates to boot and they're starting things off early.
Ooh, big stun coming in. That's gonna be a double. Just like that in favor of Reject. Everyone else on Reject They know this fight should be won. A third goes down. The stagger begins. And Finale wants to end this right here, right now. And they will be able to do so as the time expires. Teleport is going to be used, but they can't get in.
Oh, they can't indeed. And Finale, you know, really a big resurgence from them. Some great plays from Mafia from the side of AssembleFire to maybe fire back and find the right conditions to make an effective Meteor M. But a bit of a troll, a bit of a misdirection, not troll per se, but like to be able to lock in that Psylocke, think that they might be going there, and then forcing a Punisher doing absolute work. You know, we've said it earlier on, you know, this particular Punisher in this new season, in this meta, is so strong.
Yeah, this Punisher is just at times just able to out damage the healing output from some of these strategist ultimates. If you top it off with another damage boost, it's just going to be a devastating situation to be in, where you think you're safe in one of those strategist ultimates, but in the end, it's just you just get absolutely destroyed, and you're like, how did I go down? Like I'm inside a strategist ultimate. I'm inside a Luna ultimate. I'm inside a invisible woman, invisible boundary, and those things can be a bit of a shock factor in this game in general. But Reject need to pull off a site take and then move that point. So a lot to work with and a lot to do, and they will kick things off with a teleport onto the high ground. Human Torch is going to be opted for 0-1 just to provide that extra zone potential, as everyone on Reject slowly pushing in, slowly finding ways, but Finale finds an opening, but he gets pulled, but he's able to quickly right-click back. Great positioning from Finale, great awareness as well, and that's going to reward him with the Elim. As the rest of Reject, they don't care. They want to end this quick, and they're going to take this point with so much ease. But oh my goodness, that micro adjustment from Finale was really all the difference. There was a world where Finale gets shoved into the low ground and gets absolutely isolated and taken out.
That was not this world, as 5 minutes and 20 seconds for them to push, but a fraction of this phase 2 part. It's gonna start off with a Supernova plus the Omega Hurricane combo wombo just able to disrupt the back line. Finale still finding Kingdom God in the midst of it all. It's gonna be the invisible boundary that holds the team together and fires it back. Not a single scratch on the Reject, folks. The 0-1 will be punished as well. And Reject are an unstoppable force right now.
How did Finale take out Kingdom God? He had to have landed every single shot while Kingdom God was inside that Omega Hurricane. I don't know how Finale does it. He is absolutely cooking, but here comes the Eye of Agamotto, not going to land onto anyone. Everyone on Reject looks to be locked in as the final judgment going to be used, but the Fate Above Worlds should keep everyone alive. As Slowest Soldier, you doing his best to keep the shield up and ready to go. And that final judgment will fade away. Reject not quite finding the mark, as Mafia will pop the meteor. Will it do a lot of damage? Oh my god, Gnome! What a play! That might be the one that saves Reject from other upsets, from other embarrassment. As Reject, they stumbled in game 2, but they come right back in game 3.
Right back indeed. They fire with a vengeance. And honestly, on their attack half, they did not leave their foot off the pedal at any spot, right? Yes, there was a kink in their plans with a well-placed Supernova plus Omega Hurricane team up, but Finale saw quick to that combination with a 1-2, and down back into the lobby goes Kingdom God. It was a fight of their lives, but unfortunately not enough for AssembleFire to claim their victory.
Oh my goodness, what a play from Gnome. The absolute clutch factor coming in just gets up